Okay, welcome everyone. We're going to get started for today. In Cubs. Welcome everyone. We have some sign sheets. We've got tables. If you guys could please sign up or sign in. It helps us with our numbers. Or if you use the QR code also that's on the tables, we would really appreciate it. Okay, so just a little bit about 1 Million Cubs. Every Wednesday, we work towards the mission of creating a consistent and educational experience for each 1 million Cubs around the country. We are the newest 1 million Cubs in the Southwest region in Brownsville, Texas, on the tip, and we're very proud of that. And some of the pillars of 1 million Cubs, these are not meant to be pitches or boring presentations of your business. They're meant to be storytelling, conversations you have with the audience so they can know about you. The core program is held every Wednesday, every morning at 9 a.m. If you guys want to be a presenter or a sponsor, please come to any of us so you can sign up. If you know of anybody that would be interested in being a presenter or a sponsor, you can volunteer them. Just let them know to contact us and help them out with the process as well. For today's coffee, we would like to thank Armando Hernandez of Harmony Insurance. Thank you very much for being a friend. Okay, and at this time, if you guys can please send us cell phones in respect for our presenter. And for today's presenter, we have William Brown from Embedded Inc. William has been a consistent member of 1 Million Cubs as well. Last year, he participated in the Startup Texas Pitch competition, and this year, he is going to participate in SBIR STTR acceleration program. So, William.
Yeah. Awesome. Hello, everyone. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for having me here today. It's an honor to be here. Everyone. My name is William Brown, and I'm the founder and CEO of Embedded. So Embedded is a company focused on developing better, improved, non-invasive patient monitoring equipment. I started with Embedded back in 2021. My family and I were watching over my grandfather at the time, who had early stages of dementia, as well as early stages of Alzheimer's. Additionally, on top of that, his body was getting a lot weaker with time just because of his age. And so simple tasks such as, eating, lifting the spoon itself was a lot difficult. We had to help him with that. Stuff such as getting up, walking, sitting down became a lot more difficult. And it went from him being able to do that on his own to quickly ending up with it being a 2 to 3 person job just to get him up and sit him down. This poses a big issue at night because someone who thinks that they're able to get up, which believe me, we all love the fact that we're able to get up and walk around freely. But someone who has the strength just to get up, but that's it, not the strength to continue moving and taking that next step or sitting back down when you realize you can't take the step, that leads to the issue of falls. And so, there was this other issue of, hey, we have the dementia and the Alzheimer's present. So at night, he would wake up and say, where am I? I need to get out of here. So he would get up, and then he's like, well, I can't walk anymore. And we'd wake up the next morning and find him on the floor. Or he'd be in the restroom, and then he wouldn't come out. And we're like, well, we thought you went in there to pee, and he'd be on the floor because he couldn't get up. This is a very big, persistent issue. We hired a caretaker. We're a family of 4, so we needed a 5th person to help watch him. 2 people in the room at all times in case someone steps out, someone else is in there. But at night, we would take turns staying up. I would stay up until 3, 4 in the morning just to ensure he wouldn't get up. We'd leave a pee bottle in case he needed to use the restroom, a bell in case he needed to ring it to get up for the restroom. But, at the same time, we understand he felt bad asking for help. So he would try to get up on his own. So constant checking, night after night after night. At the time, Exciting Frontiers started their Entrepreneur Residence Apprenticeship Program. It's a tech incubator. And I had this idea of how do we better monitor people who have these issues. I did some research and found out it wasn't only our household that had this, but this is a big issue across nursing homes as well. Thousands of other households across just Texas in itself have this issue. Not counting the millions just in this country, billions all over the world. This is a big issue. The United States has a very high elderly population right now, and with population increase, this is just an issue that's going to keep growing and growing. This led me to start working on embedded. You can think for products like a smart bed sheet. We've developed a product that you lay on this, and we have an interface that, as when a patient lays on it, you can see them getting onto the bed. As they lay on this bed sheet, you see the outline of their body. We have a color grid on this outline, so you can indicate how long they've been laying in that position for a certain period of time. So now not only are we able to tell nurses and caretakers, hey, your patient is in the bed or they've left the bed, but we can tell you how exactly they're laying down. And we can tell you how long they've been in those positions. Now we're solving 2 issues, not only, hey, have they left the bed, hey, are they still in the bed, but we can also tell you, hey, you think you should flip them over because they might be getting bed sores in this area. That's the second big issue that a lot of patients face. And at home, when you don't have a trained nurse watching someone, it's very difficult. We know from firsthand experience, it's very difficult to treat bed sores. And you hire a nurse, but when it gets to the point where it requires medical assistance, medical attention, that problem's already exaggerated. So those 2 big issues are things that we saw at home, did a lot of research, and we noticed that, hey, this is something that's consistent everywhere. Aside from that, going back to the dementia and the Alzheimer's, a lot of patients in nursing homes that have dementia and Alzheimer's, a lot of patients that we've seen try to relive their younger days. So patients who used to, let's say they were a salesperson, they'll wake up and they'll leave the room and say, like, I need to go talk to someone right now because I need to sell this product. And the nurses are like, wait, like, no, you're not working anymore. So imagine that times 100 different occupations. You have nurses running all over the place. Not to mention we have a nursing shortage right now. Pretty sure we've all heard about that. But now we have patients, everyone with a different background, just walking around, wandering. Some of them leave the nursing home. So it's very difficult. So now with our product, we can also tell you, hey, if your patient is at risk for getting up from the bed and wandering around, we can tell you, hey, where they're at. Each patient has think of it like a biometric fingerprint that our bed sheet is able to pick up and detect, just based on the weight distribution, the outline of the body, and the movement patterns of each patient. Therefore, we can tell you where the patient's at, if they've gone into a different room, if they've left this bed, at what time, where they've gone to just better help watch over your patients. Now, a lot of people have said, well, I have a camera, I put it on my ground. Well, we have bed rails, but the reality of it is none of us in this room would like for us to sleep with a camera watching us at night. Yes, you might like taking pictures, being recorded, or you're doing a video or something, but when you're sleeping, you want as much privacy as you'd like. And even then, the cameras are only effective if you have someone watching it, and it gives the patient a false sense of security. Because they might think, well, if something happens to me, or if I'm falling and I'm having trouble, at least there's a camera and someone's watching me, but the nurse might be asleep, but they may have walked away from the station. So they're left there, it's waiting. So with our product, you don't have to be at the station watching the screen. You get alerts with it. Hey, your patient's moving to the edge of the bed. Hey, your patient's gotten up from the bed. Right now, what we're currently working on, we have a very rough prototype, which I know some people here have seen before when they stop by our office. Our prototype as of now just tells you if the bed's occupied, and it tells you if it's unoccupied. But we're taking lots of data every day, and by taking the data, we're really just getting people to take access to it. But that is valuable in and of itself. Like I said, everyone has a unique biometric fingerprint when they get onto the bed and when they get off. And the reason that is important is because everyone has a unique way of laying on the bed, a unique way that the weight's distributed, and a unique way of getting on and getting off. Therefore, we put this into a machine learning algorithm that we're trying to build right now. And now not only are we able to tell you, hey, the patient's on or off the bed, now we can get the valuable data, which is in between that, which is, hey, we've noticed this movement pattern as they roll over. Now we know they're getting off. So now we send out the alerts maybe 3 minutes earlier than what we would have sent it before. Now it learns each patient's movement. Now it knows when to send the alert earlier, or if they're trying to get up. Some other things we can look at, if there's erratic movement patterns, the patient might be having a seizure. Or if they haven't moved for a certain period of time, not only is it bed sore prevention, but they might just be having trouble rolling over. With our product, our goal is to help people remain comfortable in the last stages of their life, because we know when you're in a nursing home, it's not the most ideal environment. We ourselves don't want to be in a nursing home. We don't want to put someone in there. And I'm pretty sure most of us have had family members in nursing homes. And with my family and my grandfather, we really tried our best to get, to not end up to that point. And so one of the best things for the product is that we can offer this to someone who just just watching their grandparents at their house. And so now you don't have to, get access to our product by going to a medical facility. Now you can just stay at home, put this on their bed, and they're being monitored, and you get alerts straight to your phone. You get alerts if you step outside real quick. You don't have to be in the same building to wait to hear if he's getting up or not. Some other tests we're trying to work on. We've had one successful urine detection test. So that's another benefit, but again, we're still doing more testing and more research into that to just make sure we can, that's something we can actually do. But just with all the movement, the tracking in and of itself, the body positioning, the outline, right now this is a very good way of monitoring the patients, just with our prototype that we have. And our goal is to be able to get this into every nursing home in America, to get it into as many households that we can in America and across the world. This we can better help watch over people, help alleviate the workload that nurses have. There is a nursing shortage. And even if there wasn't a nursing shortage, it's still very difficult to watch over 100 unique patients in one nursing home. And multiply that times the thousands, millions of nursing homes we have. It's a very difficult job. And on top of that, if we can alleviate the stress that families have from, hey, is my grandfather going to get up, or are they being taken care of well enough in the nursing home? If we can eliminate those 3 issues right there, then we've done our job. That's what we're working on here at Embedded. Like Bertha said, we competed in the Startup Texas competition last year. We got a lot of great, valuable insight from that as well. Right now we're working on the SDIR program that we joined here at Startup Texas. So making a lot of progress moving forward, currently growing our team as well. We brought on a great team of software developers who have made lots of great improvements to what we're working on and is helping us advance. And they're really just, out, talking to customers, getting people's input, and just learning what does the community have to say about what we're working on, how big, of a problem is this growing into, and how well we can tackle this. Thank you guys for having me speak. I'm happy to answer any questions you guys might have. Thank you.
I was having this conversation with a bit ago. Have you looked at going to the Small Business Administration and getting an 8A status for your business? Because that can give you some kind of leeway when you try to do government contracting. And maybe one of your first customers could be the Veterans Administration, which would set the tone for everything else.
Thank you. Yeah, so I know you mentioned that last time. It is something I'm looking into. Like you said, that access to the Veterans Administration is going to be a great help. And I guess it's a big contract that they have done before. they're looking for products like ours. So it's good. Thank you for the reminder on that as well. So it is something that we're looking into, and it will open up the doors for future possibilities.
It starts with the Small Business Administration. So,
Thank you. Thank you.
How thick, how heavy is it? Like the product itself right now? Of course.
Yeah, so what we're working with RFID technology. And so if anyone has a tap to pay credit or debit card, that little chip is an RFID chip. They come in different sizes, thicknesses. Essentially ours, the ones we're working with, are paper thin. And so we have that proprietary algorithm that allows us to track the monitoring and the movement of the patients across the bed. Now, when you have the bed sheet itself, it's as if you're just holding a normal bed sheet. These tags themselves are so thin that it's as if they're not there. A lot of people who fall asleep on there, on the sheet, me included, don't, they report that they don't feel anything on there. And they've asked, like, well, are you actually like tracking anything? You gotta open it up and like, yeah, we actually have everything. So it's really cool to see that. But yeah, you don't feel anything when you're laying on it. You don't even know you're being monitored or recorded because of how thin, how small they are, which is the goal. We don't want patients to feel the equipment on them. We don't want them to see the equipment on them. The end result of this should be you lay on the bed and you feel like you're just at home. You don't have camera and equipment on you. The bed rails and stuff make patients uncomfortable, and you can see it and you feel it, and it makes you feel like, yeah, like I'm in a hospital, I'm not really at home. And nursing homes will try the best to make the room feel like it's at home, but at the end of the day, with all this equipment around them, it's very, very uncomfortable and it's stress-inducing. So that's why we took that design choice of making sure you don't see anything. And even though the technology we're using does monitor you constantly, you don't feel it, you don't feel the actual tag, you don't see it, so you're made to feel a lot more comfortable here with it.
If it's sorry, follow up. If it is RFID, you don't have to wear anything, right? Everything is on the bed sheet.
Right, everything's on the bed sheet itself.
Okay. Sorry, Steve.
it sounds like you could use it for a newborn.
Definitely, yeah. So,
My daughter at 6 months.
right, yeah. So with the newborns, there's a lot of patients too. Exactly. Yeah. So that's like Steve was saying, yeah, with the newborns as well. Not only do we have, hey, we have our newborn climbing out of the crib, but also, hey, if they flip over and they can't get up. So then in and of itself, we get to where, yeah, we notice that there is a movement in a shorter period of time, you get better alerts. I know there's like ankle bracelets and stuff that you put on the newborns, but again, you don't really want to be putting stuff on your baby or on anybody. You want to keep them as comfortable. That's why we kept it to just the bed sheet. But that is a different avenue we'd like to explore.
And secondary note also for us,
Yeah, you can see the restrooms throughout the night too, so people pay for that, and then it's, rather than wearing a smartwatch, you can just put on the bed sheet.
and also you'll get some algorithms in there to maybe change
Exactly. Yes.
Does the chip stay on the bed sheet when it's cleaned, and how does it stand up to some of these industrial cleaners that are used on the sheet?
Definitely. Yeah, so when you're looking at the RFID tags, so there's two answers to that. First, they do survive wash and dry cycles. The only thing that would ruin them is the actual aluminum tracing on it. If you were to crease it and like fit, if you really wanted to break it and you did, that's the only time it would mess up. You could run it through a dryer and a washer, lay on it, jump on it, it won't mess up. Now, our products, so there's this issue of, hey, if we put them on like a fitted bed sheet that the patient's laying on, yes, they're directly on it, but let's say someone just yanks the bed sheets really hard, they rip it or whatever. They're throwing the whole bed sheet away. Rather than avoiding small issues like that, where maybe you didn't break the tag, but they're just throwing the bed sheets away that are full of good tags, we decided, those plastic mattress covers people keep on their bed that are really tightly put over the mattress, that's exactly what we're putting them into. So they're on that big plastic sheet, you put them on there. That's what the final goal is. Right now, the prototype, we have tape onto the sheet. But the goal is to have onto a big fitted, plastic mattress protector that you put it on there and it's as tight as possible so you get the best readings, the best measurements. And you don't even have to worry about someone losing the bed sheet itself. It stays on the mattress. But if someone were to take it off, they could take it off.
Do you have nursing assistants on your team to talk to you about the daily workflow that they do and how things actually react? That's really very, very useful.
Exactly, yeah, and so that's like a key input that we have had, but we are looking, so I do want to bring more people into the team as advisors who are, and like I said, nurses themselves, nurses assistants. We've talked to a lot of nursing homes, pretty much every nursing home here in Brownsville, and then we went to Houston, and we did a lot of nursing home interviews there. We have one individual from Brownsville who was helping us throughout the beginning start of the year as we're developing our prototype. And so they gave us a lot of insight. They toured us around the nursing home facility, showed us what they use, and then they expressed that even though the way of preventing falls is really just Velcro on the floor and on the socks to make sure they're not slipping, or they put a pad on the floor and let them fall onto that, so it's not a really bad injury. But they're still breaking bones and still breaking notes, and it's tough to watch over patients, right? It's very hard to do that. So we've talked to nurses, but we do want to bring someone onto the team as an advisor because it would be a big help for us.
I mean, I'm a nurse also, and I can tell you the person who does this job more than anyone is the nurse.
The nurse assistant. Thank you for that.
What type of training would we believe to be able to use this?
Yeah, so as of now, you just turn it on, and that's it. It just displays it on your screen. So ideally, right now, since it's still prototype, we got to get run on our software and stuff. But the final version would be you just you download everything onto your computer, and then just like a window icon, or maybe like a tablet when you're on the internet. You open it up, and then you see the display. And we have a rough version of that where you're able to go to. You type in the IP address of the equipment that we're using and everything, and it puts it up onto a server. You open it up, and then boom, you're able to see the bed sheets on there. We've been able to set up multiple antennas to look over the beds, and we can move different sheets across them, and you can see them as they're going from one room to another. But the only thing you have to do is just log into it, and everything else is displayed. And so it's as user-friendly as possible. And then for the household area, that's when we start working on developing an app. That way you don't even have to open anything on your computer, you just get the alerts straight to your phone. And it would help with the nurses as well. Once we get that, now you don't even have to worry about having nurses at the nursing station sending alerts to the nearest nurse. Now they just don't have an app on the phone that, hey, the nurse might be in wing 1, and the other nurse might be on lunch break or headed to the lunchroom, and there's an accident that might happen. The closest nurse gets the alert, and they can run to it. So.
Wait a minute. I have a question regarding the proper disposal of information when it comes to maybe misplacement of a bed sheet or anything like that. Can you tell me a bit more of the screen that you're trying to achieve through your
Definitely, yeah. And that's a good question that I brought up a lot. And it is very important, right? Because we don't want people, like I said, there's a biometric fingerprint that everybody leaves when you're laying on this bed sheet, and you don't want that information getting out to people. So one of the benefits of our product regarding that is, so let's say you look at a camera. If that camera is an IoT device, and someone taps into the system, hacks into your system, and they have access to that camera, you're directly looking at the patient. Maybe the nurse may or may not be looking, but someone from the outside, they're watching it. What we've done to protect that is, when you look at your screen, and the few people here who have seen the bed sheet, the GUI, and all that we've developed, is as it adds much squares. It should look a lot like a body outline, but there's no information to it yet. But it's just a bunch of squares on there. And so if you had no idea that you're looking at a bed or a patient on there, you would just see a weird shadow of a body and say, I don't know what I'm looking at. But in and of itself, nurses would get alerts and all that to the app, like, hey, the patient in this room number is then up. Now, if they were going to know the patient's name and all that, that's something we're going to talk to nurses about that. Do you need to know the patient's name, or can we just say the patient in room 1 or the patient in room 2 is getting up? Because like you said, we're trying to minimize how much information is being given out to respect the privacy of the patients, but we still want enough information to ensure that we can better track them going around. And so that's something that's going to take a lot of looking into, asking not only the nurses, but also the patients, like how comfortable would you be if the nurses do the name of when you're trying to get up, or if their app just said, the industry was a bit alert. So it's something that we're still looking into, but we've been kind of working towards it. Thank you.
What have been some of the challenges you have faced as an entrepreneur, as a young entrepreneur?
Yeah, so the first one that pops in mind, doing embedded with school and working at the same time does become a little bit of a time crunch. And so I just started my master's like 2-3 weeks ago. And so before that, I was working on embedded, and then now at school. Thankfully, I have a really good team that helps out. And so, the days that, hey, like today I'm not gonna be able to work from these hours, I know within those 2, 3 hours, someone's working on something, and then I can come back at the update, and then it's all 3 of us working on something. Some of the other challenges would have to be, and I think this is a big challenge that a lot of entrepreneurs have in general, is funding. Because, you know, we'd love to bring on 2, 3 more people onto the team, and we just all put, you know, as much time as we can into it, and we can speed up our development and our work this next 2, 3 weeks, this next month or so, make a lot of advancements. But if you don't have the proper or enough funding for that, you can't do that. And so that's also another big challenge of ours. We're really, you know, out there seeking funding, talking to people, trying to do pitch competitions and programs. The SBIR program is going to help us a lot because we can start applying, you know, for SBIRs. It'll help us better our, you know, our business pitch, get our proposals ready, and everything. That way we can start, you know, going out for that. Yeah, that's the time is going on that, and with the funding, those are 2 biggest challenges right now. Or at least that I think. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much for the report. To give you guys a few updates of what's going to happen or what's going to be happening in Ebridge in the coming months. Obviously, next week we're going to have our 1 minute cups. Today we start the Kaufman Fast Track. Again, there's a lot of Kaufman graduates in the room, so if you're interested in knowing what it is, you know, reach out to those people. On September 26th, we have an event that's going to be held here in this room with the Methodist Health Ministries and the Los Angeles San Antonio. We're going to be talking about social determinants of health and how technology and innovation can make them better. And that event is going to be again September 26th in this room at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. to 12. And there will be one. And then October 26th is the demo day for the SBIR STTR Accelerator Program, the one William will be participating in. So make plans to attend, see William. And then December 14th is the Emerging Industries Demo Day. So that one is also going to be starting soon. Also, please make plans to attend. It's going to be very exciting. Other than that, that is it for today. Please enjoy some coffee and be feeling good.
Thank you.